Politically ambiguous for all the wrong reasons. MSNBC's Tucker Carlson is on the line.
Tucker, probably live from Calgary or Toronto somewhere. What are you doing, buddy?
I'm actually in Nova Scotia.
No, you're really not.
Hey, do you know that we actually have a place in Nova Scotia, believe it or not?
Who does?
Well, we do. My wife and I do.
You and your billionaire family?
Exactly. Sometimes we land a helicopter up there, take one of the yachts or whatever.
What's
what it's like.
What's Washington D.C. like?
It's incredibly shitty and grim and depressing. It's about 42 degrees, gray, drizzly,
not talking about
trees.
Not talking about the weather. Talking about the buzz that's going on in the in the White House and the political scene.
Well, Santa Claus is coming to town on the 20th of January. I mean, actually, it's so overheated here. You have no idea. Our contractor, who's a nice guy, lives on Capitol Hill, told me yesterday that he is renting his Capitol Hill townhouse for $15,000 for a week.
Oh, for the inauguration?
All the rich Obama people coming up. I mean, we have friends from L.A. coming to stay with us. There are no hotels. We live in the city, but people are renting. The hotels in the West Virginia Panhandle are sold out. I mean, that's like saying the hotel for where you live, like the hotels in Atlanta, are sold out.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a long way away.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're going to have up to 5 million people here.
Well, that just goes to show you how much people wanted to change. Now, whether whether Barack Obama is going to be able to do anything or not, I mean, he certainly inherited an abortion, but I mean, so far George W. Bush has granted far fewer pardons than either President Clinton or Ronald Reagan. But he commutes 14 today. He pardoned 14 and commuted 2 sentences. Did you see that?
Yeah, a lot of cocaine and marijuana.
I'm looking at this right now. Look how old he looks.
Yeah, so you're looking at the same picture I am.
Yeah, I am.
Does he not look just horrible there?
He just looks worn out. You know, I knew him when he was governor. I covered him. And, he was a really charming guy. He was. Ask anybody who covered him then. He was charming.
There's lots of charming guys that aren't that bright.
He just looks like shit, doesn't he, Tucker?
But he looked he probably looked, 30 years younger then. I mean, he looks like an old man all of a sudden. Boy, that's weird.
How old is he? Is he 60?
He's 60, 61 maybe. I think he's about 61 or 62.
He looks 75 there.
Yes, definitely. He's got the kind of, he's in very good shape, but he's starting to his skin is looking loose. Boy, that job just wears you out. I mean, remember what it did to Clinton? He was just like a completely different man by the end.
Clinton and Reagan, too. It accelerated his aging process.
Yeah, Reagan was so old when he started, but Clinton and Bush were young. I mean, I bet you Obama looks totally different by the end of 8 years.
Definitely.
At least Obama's, at least trying to stay in shape, I think. He's going to be one of those guys that's going to continue to go to the gym. And
Bush is like a fitness nutcase. He spends like 3 hours a day exercising. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Even Clinton ran a lot,
President Bush said...
now, they're saying that Marion Jones is looking for a pardon. Did you see that, Brent?
Yeah.
You know what? If I were president, I would pardon everybody. I would pardon... I wouldn't pardon Mark Rich. That was pretty disgusting. I wouldn't, take money for pardons like Clinton did, but I would pardon a lot of people. I really would.
Bush pardoned a lot of cocaine and marijuana people.
Yeah.
Not enough.
Cocaine?
Not enough. He should go... if I were president, that's one of the perks of office, and, you have to defend your pardons. I mean, if I were Bush, I would have pardoned people every year and then explained why.
But now, hold on. You don't have to defend your pardons when you're going out because isn't that there's no questions asked.
There's no questions asked.
I mean, that's one of the things as a president you can do. There's no overriding it. There's no questions. Isn't that right, Tucker? There's nothing anybody can do.
There's no doubt about it. There's nothing anyone can do. I don't believe there's an override.
No, there's not.
That's one of the few absolute powers the president has.
It is absolutely, and I agree with you, Tucker. I think pardoning Mark Rich was one of the most disgusting things.
Who's Mark Rich?
Mark Rich, Mark Rich's wife, Denise Rich, goes on the Howard Stern show still. But I mean, this socialite from New York, he was a tax evader, owed the IRS $1 million.
Who pardoned him?
Bill Clinton.
Oh,
Bill Clinton. He took a lot of money. He and a guy called his business partner, a guy called Pincus Green. Rich and Green ran off with all this money, and they fled the country. And Rich went to Israel and then Switzerland, and they were just total sleazeballs who hated America. And for some reason, they got pardoned. But that shouldn't discredit the idea of pardoning. I mean, I don't know. There are people who have turned their lives around who would be nice to have the stain of their conviction erased, and I think Bush should go pardon, spend some time, find out who needs to be pardoned, and do it.
Well, Henry Rollins...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Henry Rollins wrote Bill Clinton a letter about the West Memphis Three, who there's overwhelming evidence that they are innocent.
They just lost another ruling.
Yeah, because the same judge in Arkansas keeps fucking them. But there's overwhelming evidence that they are innocent, and they got a letter back from Bill Clinton, and Rollins was like, yeah, they got a letter back, like, was signed by Bill Clinton, like you're supposed to make a big deal out of getting a letter from Bill Clinton.
Yeah, see, I think that, I don't know. I know you know a ton about this subject, and I don't, though I did write about it at the time because, as I said, I was a newspaper guy in Arkansas when it happened. But I'm not sure there's a lot of evidence they're innocent. I just don't think there's as much evidence that they're guilty.
No, I think you're absolutely wrong. There's exculpatory.
He can't have an opinion.
Well, he can have an opinion, but he's saying that there's not evidence that they're innocent when there absolutely is evidence that they're innocent.
You're in very much an argumentative mood today. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to say. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, isn't Thanksgiving supposed to kind of mellow you out?
Oh,
Think about what are you grateful for, Brent, this year?
Brent's not grateful for nothing. He's in a really bad mood today. I don't know why.
I'm not in a bad mood. I'm sick, and you refuse to accept that answer.
I'm as fucking sick as you are, asshole.
I hate to get into like the personal housekeeping business of your program.
You guys, you can do whatever you want.
Like a pretty tough taskmaster. Like even if you got pneumonia, he makes you come to work.
Oh yeah.
It's not coming to work. He just refuses to believe that I'm not in a bad mood. I'm just sick.
Well, I'm sorry. I refuse to believe that I have to work side by side, shoulder to shoulder, and I can't have any fucking feelings on the deal. You're an asshole today. You've been acting like an asshole all day today.
What have I done?
I don't know. You like want to get in Tucker's face and say, no, you couldn't be anything wrong. Tucker's never wrong. Just ask the motherfucker.
Wait, let me ask you a question, Brett. When you got like a chest cold like this, can you still do bong hits?
Well, right now I can't do bong hits at all.
He's doing vaporizer hits.
Ooh,
that's his problem.
Oh, can you?
Well, that's his problem. He won't get off the pot. He went from his doctor told him
get off the pot
because he couldn't. The bottom line is this, man. The doctor said don't smoke pot anymore because you have this throat deal that he's going in for surgery on the 6th.
He's not smoking it though.
And so Brent, some asshole from the Bubba Army, sends him this vaporizer.
No way.
So
the Army mobilized on your behalf.
Yeah. So now he's vaporizing it like on almost a technicality, almost kind of deal.
So what does that mean, vapor? I quit smoking pot so long ago, I missed the vaporizer phase. What is that?
It takes the bud and it vaporizes the THC into a bag.
Yeah.
You're not setting fire to the plant and combusting it. Therefore, you don't get any carcinogens.
You're just heating it.
Yeah, you're just heating it basically, and it turns into a vapor in a bag.
And then will you just huff the bag?
Yeah.
That must get you just like terrifyingly high.
You do get terrifyingly high, yes.
See, I don't like being that. I mean, again, it's been a long time, but I don't like being that high. Does it ever bother you? Do you ever feel paranoid and wiggy and weird?
No, long-term use of marijuana has the opposite effect. You don't get paranoid.
Hey, I didn't know that's going through famous pardons on AOL. I didn't know Patty Hearst got pardoned by Clinton. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
She sure did, and she I'm pretty sure murdered someone.
Yeah.
She was never indicted for it. But
She was kind of hot though.
Jimmy Carter commuted her sentence, and then Clinton in 2001 pardoned her.
Yeah, well, she shot a woman in a bank. I think it was in Alameda in California, and she should be. I believe she did. She's denied it, but I think it's pretty clear she did.
Yeah,
and
but she said
should be punished for it.
She said she'd suck me off if I pardoned her.
Casper Weinberger. Did you know he got pardoned by George H.W., which he got charged for lying under the Iran-Contra scandal, and because he got pardoned, it halted all the legal proceedings.
Yep.
It did. In fact, we have the same lawyer. His lawyer who got him that pardon is also my lawyer.
I did not know, but George Steinbrenner was pardoned by Ronald Reagan. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I did know that.
Obstruction of justice, conspiracy to make a legal contribution to the Nixon campaign.
Ronald Reagan,
1989.
Wow.
FBI executives Mark Felt and Edward Miller. Did you know that?
No, Mark felt deep throat.
It said, searching Vietnam protesters' property without warrants in the Nixon era. Reagan in 81. In 05, Felt came out as the Watergate informant Deep Throat. So they both got pardoned by Reagan. Jimmy Hoffa got pardoned by Nixon. Did you know that?
Posthumously?
A lot of good it did him, huh?
Yeah. It said Richard Nixon, 1971. Hoffa, the former head of the Teamsters, vanished in 75. So he had 4 years of being an innocent man.
Yeah, he was last seen having dinner in Detroit.
Richard Nixon pardoned by Gerald Ford.
Of course, famously helped lose Ford the election.
So the pardon is believed to have contributed to Ford's defeat in 1976.
And Ford really wasn't that bad of a president.
Who, Ford?
Yeah.
He's the worst ever. Are you kidding?
He's not worse than the guy we got in there now.
No way is he worse.
He was really lame, really deeply mediocre.
Mediocre's
no, look, You've seen the pictures from April 30th, 1975 of, desperate people clinging to the helicopter struts.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody who would get out of a war like that in the most ignominious possible way is a loser.
And Gerald Ford's brilliant plan to beat inflation was to come up with buttons that said WIN, whip inflation now. That was his plan.
It's better than bailouts.
Tokyo Rose.
Tokyo Rose was pardoned?
And by Ford in 1977, she was wanted for treason. Japan forced her to broadcast propaganda in the war. She was pardoned by Ford in 77. Did you know that?
Boy, I had no idea she was pardoned. She was like a sleazeball.
Of course, Carter then also pardoned G. Gordon Liddy in 77. Did you know that?
No.
What an asshole Carter was.
Yeah, Carter was.
Carter did? I like G. Gordon Liddy. Do you guys know him?
I don't know him personally, but I hate his fucking guts because.
Why?
Because he tried to dose a reporter with LSD and kill him for writing a column that was anti-Nixon.
Well, that's awful. I mean, that's like appalling. But he also admitted it.
Yeah.
And wrote a book about it. No, did you ever read Will?
No, I didn't.
It's, you should read it, Brent. I'm serious. You would like it. It's a really interesting book. But here's a guy who got thrown into the D.C. jail for years. Now, this what people don't understand. I covered jails once, and so I learned this distinction. Jails are about 20 times worse than prisons because they're not regulated the same way. There's not the same level of oversight. You can just throw people into a jail. You don't have to have a lot of space for them. People get AIDS, drug-resistant TB. They're really awful places. And prisons, of course, especially federal prisons, but even state, are monitored. Anyway, he was in jail for years. You're only supposed to be there maximum a year. I think he was there like 2 or 3 years in D.C. public jail, which is like one of the worst places in the world. And he successfully kept from getting raped because he was such a nutcase, such a psycho.
Who was that?
Nobody wanted to do it. He took this gang leader comes in and says, look, Whitey, we're going to kill you tomorrow. And he's like, oh, that's totally fine. As he's talking, he takes a Zippo lighter and holds it under his hand until the flesh starts melting and dripping away. And he's like, I just want to wish you good luck with that.
Here are 6 people that are asking for that have currently petitioned the president for pardons that could still come because he has till the 10th or something.
Yeah. No, the 20th.
He has till his last day.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he does.
Marion Jones. She's asked. She's on the docket to be considered. Randy Duke Cunningham, former House Representative.
Fuck him.
I agree. Fuck him.
Conspiracy to commit bribery, mail and wire fraud, and tax evasion in 2005. He's seeking a pardon. Michael Milken, financier and
the penny stocks guy from 1990, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, fuck him too.
And then let me see, former governor of Louisiana, Edwin Edwards.
Oh, I know Edwin Edwards. Let him out of jail. That guy's done enough time. 17
counts, including racketeering and extortion in 2000. What did he? Tell me the story behind him, Tucker.
Edwin Edwards took bribes from, I think, casino interests. Louisiana has a couple casinos, not a lot, but Riverboat,
Biloxi,
and I think it's Shreveport, and then they got that Harrah's in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And he took, he was. The FBI, I think it was the FBI, put cameras in the ceiling of his office and caught him taking bribes. But, the truth is he was a super entertaining guy, pretty good governor in some ways, but mostly just a great story. His wife, he's like 75 years old. His wife is like 40, and her name is Candy. And about every 10 minutes he'd make an eating candy joke. He was that kind of guy.
Now,
super vulgar.
How long has he been in prison? A while?
Boy, he's been in prison more than 5 years. I remember when he went away.
I think the DeBartolo group was involved in that in some way, weren't they?
I don't know. I can't remember. But he's been there a long time, and he's really old. It was actually sad. I mean, he loved his wife, but he divorced her. Let's see, he's 81 years old. Oh, my gosh.
John Walker Lind, the American Taliban.
Fuck him.
Oh, fuck him.
Aiding the Taliban and carrying weapons in 2002. That motherfucker's seeking a pardon.
Yeah, he should never get out.
How dare he?
Yeah,
and then finally,
have you ever seen
how ironic would it be if Bush pardoned him
on the day of the Mazar-Sharif battle?
Now here's
this guy. He's from Marin County. He's from like Ross or Kentfield, or he's from the Bay Area where I used to live. And he's like a little annoying rich kid, and he's sitting there talking in this phony Arabic accent, and to this American reporter, and he's like, well, I mean, in this, like when the super annoying kid from junior year goes abroad to France and comes back and pretends he can't really speak English,
right?
that was John Walker Lindh. He ought to go into prison just for that.
And then finally, no pardon request submitted, but experts speculate that it's coming in the next 2 to 4 weeks, and that's Scooter Libby.
Yeah.
Now, is he currently in jail?
No. Bush commuted his sentence already.
He commuted his sentence.
Oh, so he commuted his sentence, but he's still...
let the conviction stand. But he wants to be pardoned, get the conviction off his record.
So when the president... Now, Tuck, when the president pardons you, right, does that mean you're you're clear? No bubbles, no troubles? You officially
That's
do not...
It.
You don't
I
have...
mean, it's as if you never... you were never... busted in the first place.
I mean, you're free to go. You're free to be. You're no longer. You don't have that on your record. You're clean.
That's totally it. It's the magic wand. You know, and I would do it for a lot of people. I mean, there are especially people who've gotten their act together. I mean, there are people with drug convictions, for instance, from the 70s and 80s. You know, some stupid kid who gets busted moving 100 kilos of weed, or something like. I mean, something that I'm not defending it. I'm just saying it's he didn't kill anybody, and then goes to jail, gets out, and leads a decent life. People like that. I don't know. Why not erase it from their record? I think it's nice.
I agree. So, Tuck, what are you doing for Thanksgiving?
I'm going to Marion, Massachusetts.
For what?
Which is to stay with my in-laws. There's lots of big family thing going on there, so I'm flying tomorrow to Marion, which is with 4 children and all
Boy,
that.
you sound excited.
Yeah, you sound really excited.
No, I am excited. Have you been to Marion, Mass? Have you been to Cape Cod area?
No, never. I've been to Boston one time with Hogan, and when he wrestled, one of the the arena or something like that. But no, I've only been there.
Oh, it's a beautiful area, and the food is unbelievable. If you like fried food, if you like any kind of shellfish, I mean, excellent shellfish and seafood, clams, lobsters, baked beans, scallops. I mean, it's excellent, and everyone has these harsh towny accents. And they watch hockey, and what I mean. They're completely obsessed with the Red Sox and the
hockey.
Celtics.
Yeah, as much as you like the Southeast and what have not, you think that you'd have a little bit more affection towards the salt of the world, and that would be the fine Canadians that listen to the show.
No, it's not that. I mean, look, it's not that I dislike Canadians. I don't. I like them, as I've told you 1,000 times. I have great affection for them. They're just weak. They're like female impersonators. They're not fully there. Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't. I really do.
They're almost it's almost like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. You know how aliens would come and assume human form, and they would seem normal, and you would think that they were human until they screwed some minor thing up, like they would, make a mistake. They wouldn't know any of the colloquial terms for anything, and then you would know, oh shit, that's an alien. But they could kind of pass. That's what Canadians are. They're pretend. They're made in China Americans. They're off-brand Americans. They're almost American, but they're not quite up to the stringent quality levels that we require.
Now, Tucker, in your trials and tribulations of hanging out and doing various things, have you encountered any Canadians that have told you that they've heard your anti-Canadian talk on my show?
Oh, God, I hear it all the time. But see, the thing about Canadians is they're not aggressive, they're passive-aggressive. So, heard you talking about us, eh? And you're like, yeah, hey, how you doing? Hey, so we're your retarded cousins, eh? Yep, you're our little retarded cousins. Okay. I mean, they're not, if they were to, get in your face and be like, shut the fuck up, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to defend the honor of Canada, that would be kind of impressive, but obviously Canada has no honor, so they're not going to defend it. I mean, that's the problem. Okay, here's an idea. In one sentence, define Canadian culture. There is no such thing. And that's the problem, is they're sweet people, but they're not kind of grounded in a culture.
No, we really don't. But,
And I just think, I think what they really want, and I've told you this before, is they want us to just take control. You know how, if you don't make a decision, your girlfriend or your wife gets mad? They want you to make a decision. They want you to be the man. They want you to kind of, assume authority and lead. They don't want, where should we go to dinner tonight? I don't know, where do you think we should go? No, they don't want that. They want you to say, you know what, we're going to Olive Garden. That's what we're doing. And then they can relax and be like, okay, he's in charge. He knows what we're doing. He's in command. He's the man. That's what Canadians want. So we make the mistake of pretending, oh, yeah, you're a real country. You have the right of self-determination. You get to govern yourself. They're not capable of that. We know it. They know it. We should just say it out loud and be like, look, honey, just address the country as honey. Look, honey, you're not capable of running this yourselves. We all know that. And from now on, Daddy's in charge, okay? So just do a good job. We'll give you your allowance every week. don't ask too many questions, and obey. And they would be a lot happier. We'd be happier, and we could stop this charade that they're like a real country.
Now, do you guys in this room get as many I want to kill Tucker Carlson with a hockey stick up his ass emails as
I get a ton of them. I get a ton of them. I wish you would stop because it kills my email.
Yeah, I wish you'd kill
me. That's bullshit. That's all people from like Buffalo. I'm serious. That's all like Americans posing as Canadians. So if you have the balls to write an email like that, you are by definition not Canadian.
Wow, well, Tucky, I'm just telling you, man. You know, you're gonna have to stop with that shit because I'm tired. I can't defend what you're saying. I usually can go right along with. You know, I usually somewhat agree. I wouldn't have you on my show as long as I do.
No, but you know, and the Canadians know in their hearts. They know what I'm talking about. They know I'm right. They know that I don't mean it. I don't mean to slag them. I'm not criticizing them in any way.
No, you're not criticizing.
I'm just speaking the truth with love, as we're all called upon to do. I'm just saying what most people are afraid to say, but they know it, and I think they respect me for saying it. You know, because they know it's not.
I really wish Tucker had an email address that the average person could write, because I bet you he could, honest to God, Tucker, you would have no less than 5,000 emails.
We should set one up through our website and then honestly forward them to Tucker's address.
Well, I hope you will, because actually, I want to meet new Canadian friends. And I'm not just saying that because I'm dissatisfied with my lawn service as it is. I mean, I like hearing from Canadians, you know, those who can write, you know, who have the ability to do that. I mean, they're not a lot, but...
Have you been to Canada, Tucker?
I've been to... Dude, I own property in Canada, and I've been there a lot. I go fishing in Canada. I really like Canada. I think it's really cold, but in the summertime it's nice, and the people are so nice. I mean this with all sincerity. The people could not be nicer in the way that a golden retriever is nice. You just can't help it. That's what you've never met a mean golden retriever, because golden retrievers just aren't mean. That's who they are. You know, they like run up, or sometimes they put their muddy paws on your pants, and that's annoying. But you don't hold it against them because that's who they are. They're like, you know, glad to see you. That's Canadians.
So, Tuck, what's going on? What else is going on in Washington there, my friend?
Now, you know what? You guys are talking about pardons. A lot of people have emailed me about the 2 Border Patrol agents that shot the Mexican drug dealer.
I'm sympathetic because I think the border's out of control, and I don't think we're serious about it, and I feel like we ought to have the right to control our borders if we want.
Yeah, every other country does.
Now, in the news today, there was a 5-mile section of between San Diego and Tijuana that you just put up a huge-ass razor fence, and it's decreased people coming into the country and violence, like, you know, throwing things over the fence by 81%. And it's by all means very successful, but we don't have any other plans to put this razor wire up on any other portion of the fence in the border. Why wouldn't we put razor wire from coast to coast, for lack of a better term?
Well, because we're not serious. I mean, because we want illegal immigration.
There you go.
That's the truth. I mean, and you can make a case that illegal immigration helps us. I mean, I don't think it does personally, but you could make a case that it does.
Well, on what premise?
But we don't bother to do that. What we do instead is, you know, you hear people make these ludicrous, over-rationalized arguments that actually fences won't help at all. You know, that people just build bigger ladders. Oh, really? Oh, is that why Israel built a border fence along its border with the Palestinian territories? That didn't help at all?
No,
Actually, it helped a lot. It stopped the bombings.
Yeah.
Actually, fences work. Now, you can argue whether or not you should build one. On a moral level, that's a separate question, and I think it's a fair argument. But to argue that you shouldn't build one because it won't work, that's a lie.
That is a lie.
It's stupid.
That is a lie, and it is stupid, and it would work.
Of course it would work. Of course it would work. Because the truth is, you know, people who are dead set determined to come to the United States will always be able to get here. No fence will stop them. That's true. But most people who come here aren't that determined to come here. They come here because it's easy, and you can make more money coming here, or you could up until, 2 months ago. And so they come. So if we really didn't want them here, we could actually prevent the overwhelming majority from coming here. But the elites want illegal immigration because illegals don't compete with rich people for jobs, obviously. I mean, no, you know what I mean? Like, no illegal is going to run your consulting firm or, become a partner at your law firm. That's just not going to happen.
No, but they want cheap nannies.
Because you get cheaper service.
Yep, they want cheap nannies and cheap lawn men.
That's exactly right. That's absolutely right.
But you hire.
And by the way, I like immigrants. I admire immigrants. There are a lot of lazy white people in this country, and I have no sympathy for them. I've got Bolivians, all of them legal, by the way, working on my house right now, and they're doing a great job.
Bolivians?
And they're good people. They're super hard workers. They're skilled. They're skilled carpenters. I respect them, and I'm glad they're here. And so I'm not anti-immigrant at all. I just think that too many illegal immigrants are really bad for the country. They cost us a ton of money. They have no interest in staying here. They don't like the country. They're just here to make money, and they do kind of screw poor Americans.
So now, Tuck, let me ask you a question. Are you in any position to be able to? We almost had it. We almost had it out of you last week. You got something going on. You got something.
Yeah, I'm starting a news site.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You're starting a news
like
site.
what? Like a Drudge Report kind of thing, or what?
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
Did you see the article on the Drudge Report today?
What?
No.
What did it say? Tucker Carlson soon to compete?
The Russian economist.
No, but I've been working all day.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Doing what? What did you do all day considering work?
Oh God, what did I do? I just for the past hour and a half, I just did a Washington Post online thing. Hold on, I'm just looking it up. I don't see the Drudge thing. I see Ann Coulter's got a new book out. Ann Coulter, boy.
We could care less about that bitch.
Do you guys read the Drudge Report?
Yeah, I read it every
Brent
day.
does, cover to cover.
Yeah, every day, right? You read it every day.
Every day,
You read
yeah.
it because
I've never
there's
picked
a ton
it
of
up
news
ever.
on it, right?
Yeah.
I don't pick it up. Brent tells me what I'm supposed to know in the Drudge Report. I do.
Yeah,
I do
people
not.
are like, oh, the Drudge Report's right wing. Okay, yeah, whatever. But 99% of its content are just conventional news stories.
Yeah, it's all just links to other news.
Yeah,
That's where I get a lot of your prep
news
from, Bubba.
aggregation site, and he does a really good job. He's got interesting news judgment. He puts shit up there you wouldn't have seen, and he and Huffington Post are basically the only places that you can go for that.
Yeah,
and there ought to be more. There's
should
a
be.
lot of news out there, and so I'm going to offer an alternative. We got financing and all that, so it's going to be big.
There you go.
Well, what's it going to be called?
That is still being finalized right now.
Hey, we'll promote the hell of it for you. You know that. We'll make you our exclusive, that sort of deal. But you got to work, Tucker, and give us some good scoop shit.
I'll give you some good scoop. No, we're hiring a bunch of reporters and stuff. I mean, we're gonna look. You know what? There's too much of opinion. There's too much of I think this. I think. Who gives a shit what you think? Like, you know what I mean? It's like everybody has an opinion at some point.
Now, how are you going to be able to monetize this?
Well, actually, there are a number of ways to do it. I mean, you've got a website. You understand what they are. I mean, one of them is advertising, obviously, but there are other ways. I mean, getting people to participate in the site, and there are various ways to do that can be pretty lucrative. Depending upon who your audience is. I mean, if you assemble an audience that advertisers are interested in, like say young men 18 to 35, which is your audience, that's a very lucrative audience. You guys make a shitload of money on those people.
Actually, men 25 plus or 25-54 is a better makeup of our audience, and it's a better demographic money wise as well.
Is it in radio? That's interesting. Okay, well that's I mean, but young men, that's it right there, and you guys have it. So that's you guys must make a ton. Do you make money on your site?
Oh yeah. I don't. Hey, if it don't make money, it don't make sense.
Well, I kind of agree with that. I mean, I kind of agree with that. So, I don't know. I think it should be really fun.
My good friend Deion Sanders once said, "If I'm going to get out of bed today, somebody's going to pay for it."
Did he? Did he say that? What does he make a year?
I think he probably makes 3 or 4 million probably for NFL Network. Back in the day, he made like 8 or 9 million playing ball.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Not too bad.
That's really good. I just wrote a piece last night on sex for the Daily Beast, this website which I write for, and in it I was doing a bunch of research on like sexual behavior of Americans, and it was pretty discouraging because people don't, like the average couple has sex twice a week, which is pretty depressing.
How many times do you have sex a week?
I'm not. I don't want to get into bragging, but I mean, let me just say, I think twice a week is, you're not trying. You're not living a life you can be proud of if you're doing that.
Keep in mind, you're unemployed.
Unless you're on the road all the time, or you've got some physical disability. I mean,
Spice brings up a good point. Keep in mind, you got all the time in the world. You're unemployed.
Well, that's part of why I chose unemployment.
So you could spend more time dedicated to fucking?
So you can fuck a
No,
lot.
completely. Free up some more time for that. Yeah, I mean, it was worth the humiliation and loss of income.
Well, that makes more sense.
Now, what's your favorite position, Tucker?
Oh, come on, there's only one, dude.
Well,
I can't get into this.
dog. You like Doggy Kid? I mean, you know.
Come on. I mean, that's, that was, if it was good enough for the caveman, it's good enough for us.
Right.
That's my feeling.
So, like he
Yeah, I mean, did you ever see Quest for Fire?
No.
Oh, one of the great films in the caveman genre. And the caveman, very, very excellent.
Does it show him fucking doggy style?
Come on. Yeah, this was long before the missionaries. I'm not even anti-missionary. I'm just anti-missionary position.
I'm all about laying down, letting her do all the work, man. I like being on my back, buddy, and letting her ride out.
There you go.
Yep. See,
Is that true?
Yeah. What means that true? Look at me, my friend. I'm not a fucking doggy kind of guy.
No, but you know what it is you spend your whole day in control, and
My whole
in
life.
your private life in the sack, you just want to give up control. Is that it?
No, I'm still on control. I grab her hips. I put her where I want it. My wife's a pretty small woman. I'm in control down there. I'm barking out orders the entire time. Less of this, more of that. Say the words. Talk dirty to me. Tell me some kind of fucking fantasy. Let's go. Let's get crazy.
Did she ever say, you know what, that's too sick, I'm not doing that?
No,
I'm not putting on the Nazi uniform again.
No,
Did she ever say that?
she never talks back in any way, shape, or form. She's just...
Really?
She begs for it. My wife begs for it because I only want to give it to her once, maybe twice a week. Maybe, if she's lucky, she gets it 2 times.
Wow, what are you doing the rest of the time?
Sleeping. Tired, irritable, miserable.
Damn, so you just build up suspense then.
No, I just finally break down and give it to her. Manson's the same way. He's like,
God, I would be so bored if I had sex more than twice a week.
Oh, yeah.
Are you serious?
Tucker, we're only home literally 9 hours a day. That's it. We're only literally home. We're literally only in our homes 9 to 9.5 hours a day. That's it.
Damn. So you guys are workers, huh?
Well, we're fucking ignorant. It's what we are.
Are you talking like strip club time too? Are you including that?
We don't even have time for strip clubs.
We don't have time for that. I mean, I
haven't even been to a strip club in a while.
I got kids. And so, this weekend I was at the racetrack with my son Saturday. I was at the racetrack for 12 hours on Sunday. I got home at 8:30 on Sunday. We fucked. And I was in bed by 9:30 and then up at 4.
Why were you up at 4?
I got a morning show situation.
So you're up at 4 every day?
4:50, between 4 and 4:20. What matters if I hit the snooze or not? Later.
That's pretty serious. Like that's a pretty long day. I got up at 5 this morning. No, I went to bed at 4 this morning and got up at 8. Yeah. And I didn't feel good. I don't feel good now. I don't think I want to do that every day. That's pretty hard.
Our days, I think I'm speaking for everybody here. We start, I'd say everybody in this room gets up by 4, no later than 4:30. And I'm at the radio. I'm here every day with travel time by 5 o'clock. We then do the other situation until about 10:15. Some of us go work out at the Clem Gym, but we certainly don't have time to go home. And then we end up getting back home about 7:45, 8 o'clock. So we're gone basically from 4:30 in the morning till 8 o'clock at night, 5 nights a week.
Boy, that's a pretty rigorous schedule. I mean, seriously.
No, I know. It's the walls. It's like almost, Brent, that should be like a new torture technique. Just make people do that for a year. It'll fucking drive you insane.
You want to know where
Bin Laden is? Are you guys making a ton of dough on that?
No.
On these 2 shows?
No.
Wow, why are you doing that?
That's what we're asking each other right now. We're doing now. We all hate each other. It's infighting. It's who the fuck thought of this. Yippee! I mean, it's craziness.
Yeah, because when anybody gets too tired, you get to be a dick.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what it is. You can't help it.
I got to tell you right now that I've probably been just damn right fucking impossible lately. Have I, Brent?
Oh, I'm really sorry.
A little bit.
Spice, have I been impossible lately?
Sometimes.
Yeah, Manson. You don't know. He didn't care.
Like Manson.
No bubbles, no troubles.
Yeah.
Manson really doesn't feel any of the tremors.
My poor wife, man. Oh my God. Like I get home and I just look at her. She's like, "What?" I go, "What?" And she goes, "What?" I go, "What? You said fucking what? What?"
God, you guys need some time off.
Yeah, no shit.
Are you going on vacation?
We got Thursday, Friday off. Yeah.
But that's it. You're not. Why don't you go to the Bahamas or something for a week?
We don't have any time.
Damn. Why are you doing this?
We're only doing if we only got 14 more shows.
So you're like saving up nuts for winter because everything's collapsing. So you figure you might as well get it in now.
Ned, we saving up for nuts for winter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting my esophagus cut open. That's how bad it is.
But anyway.
That's awful. Yeah, be careful with that. All right, well, I gotta go get dressed for dinner. I've got like a long, like 8-course boozy dinner with all my servants and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, we do dinner here, right?
I know you do.
Elvira and I sit at opposite ends of like a 25-foot long oak table with sterling goblets in front of us and ring a bell when we want more mead. It's unbelievable.
How about the kids? They all dressed up to a T, or?
No, they sit at the children's table.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, that's in another wing of the house. But
Yeah.
we just sit there, our feet clanging on the cobblestones and, yell for more booze and the dancing girls. It's pretty old school, I have to say.
Tucker, you're the epitome of old school, my friend.
Thank you, guys.
We love you, buddy. We'll talk to you next week.
Happy Thanksgiving.
You too, buddy.